Well, this one's special to us. We've got the Nace Brothers in the studio
Glad
today.
to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, and you can tell it's not just me. It's like the whole staff. It's like during sound check, you guys were playing an album track, and people are singing along in the other room, right?
I appreciate that.
And this is
Well
from
done.
a brand new CD. Haven't even had the CD release party at Knuckleheads yet.
But we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. Thank you guys for helping us out on that. I hope you can attend.
Yeah, well, we've got a family member that was due on Sunday to deliver a child. So if that child just stay in there for a few more days,
Or go ahead and get here.
yeah, we'll be there on Sunday night. It's Valentine's Day, so you're combining the CD release party with Valentine's Day, and so there's going to be a lot of love in the room.
I hope so. That's our goal. It always is, you know. And hopefully the next day, a lot of people are off work, so it's President's Day, and they can recover from all that love that they share with us there on Valentine's Day.
Sometimes love, I'm assuming, probably spills over.
Well, yeah, it happens. It happens. But I think that's going to be a very good time. So I hope everyone can attend. Hope you can attend as well.
You know, I was on your Facebook page, and somebody was, I don't know if you saw this or not, but somebody was saying that an alternative name for a Valentine's Day was Single Person's Appreciation Day, or so it was something like that. It was, so, you know, it does depend on your current status as to what that day is
but,
like.
you know, that being the case, you could come there and actually maybe find a Valentine. So we'll look at that as a possibility as well.
Yeah, you know, I think that one of the things about the Nace Brothers is that, you know, you guys have played around town for so long and been such a part of so many people's lives that between band and audience, it is family.
We feel like the people that support us are definitely part of our family, and it's been a great run so far.
Few diehards, they're hanging in there.
They are.
Gotta love them. Stop a good feeling, right, John?
So actually, the new CD is called Space and Time, and it's just a great piece of work.
Thank you.
You know, I just think that you guys have to be really proud, and my understanding is that, you know, this one took a long time. It was about a year off and on in the studio.
Yeah.
I think I made the first demo disc I had. I gave all the guys a burned a copy of this old machine. I think there were 18 songs. I don't think of one of them.
Ended up being on that.
We had to rewrite them 8 times to throw them away.
It is sometimes songs that come to the front that you don't think will and end up being the stronger ones. That's, you know.
Space and Time was a last minute.
Yeah, we talked about that, John and I, the other day a bit. You know.
Yeah, now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, but didn't Space and Time begin with you trying to kick your brother out of the band with a drum machine?
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
I just wanted a loop, you know, thing to have, because experimenting and stuff with recording. It's so endless that. But once I got him on board, he was like, "Oh, I see what you mean. I can play that." You know.
Yeah.
Because the drum machine can't drive the van.
You know,
My position is secure.
yeah, Trucker Dave.
Yeah.
Sing with all the soul that he has in his voice. I'm singing the demos, and it's like lifeless.
Well,
You get
that's
these guys on the record, you get David singing it, you get some hard country soul in there, makes a difference.
You know, the thing that was funny to me about Space and Time was that, you know, just hearing everybody in the band, I talked to you know, the producer as well. Everybody sort of describes that rhythm in a different way.
Yeah.
To me, it almost felt like a world music track with that sort of surging kind of rhythm, and something that was kind of new to you guys.
Really, it was different than anything we'd done. And again, we went in there basically on that particular track, an experimental basis, you know, and just seeing kind of what would become of it.
Well, I'll tell you
Never
what,
know.
the entire record, start to finish, is great. It's Space and Time. You can find out more at nacebros.com. And, of course, they're going to have copies for you Sunday night at the merch table over at Knuckleheads. And we'd love to hear some music, guys.
All right. the freeway to your soul. No distance is too far away. Love to walk beside you everywhere you go. All the times you can't remember, try not to let it show. Get that weight all off your shoulders. Keep the good times with you everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. The heart it is the sunshine, the freeway to your soul. No distance is too far away. We love to walk beside you everywhere you go. Never was how I thought it should be. I'm a little too old to be this free, and I really don't know what's become of me these days. We made it.
Success! The Nace Brothers in our studios here at the Bridge, and a couple of songs from the brand new release, Space in Time, and encourage you to get a copy of it. It's just a brilliant new record. They've got the CD release party this Sunday night at Knuckleheads. Kill two birds with one stone. Take care of your honey.
There you
Get
go.
that CD.
I like where you're going there, John.
So, Jimmy, you wrote all the songs on this one. And, of course, you've been the principal songwriter for a long time. How many, you were mentioning 18 songs and none of them made that original cut?
Yeah, well, it happens.
How many songs do you write in it?
It seemed like the next one had 15 or 16 on it.
How many of those made it through?
That was we had most of them on there.
Yeah,
didn't we?
I think
We
we did
didn't have-
12 songs on the last one. I don't know.
Boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're pretty rough, you know, until these guys get a hold of them and fix them. I mean, it's a group effort. I mean,
It
I like
is.
to have a good idea, but it gets changed. And
Some of them are, I know he brings some of them fairly intact, and then other ones, you know, are kind of more open to creative process. You know, this is the first CD we made with Paul as well, and man, it was a great experience, and it was the first one we made with Andy Oxman, you know, in Soundworks Studios. So all those things contributed to it being a good piece of work.
You know, I gave Andy a call just to try and pick his brain yesterday, and he is, you know, I think he's just such a fan of the band.
Well, it was kind of funny how it came about, you know, working with him. You know, we had gotten word from another friend of ours that he was interested in it, and then, you know, and we sometimes tread lightly in going into a situation, say, okay, we'll try one, you know, or whatever. And, and I think the first night we went in there, we recorded like 4 songs. The first session we were there, it just had a great vibe from start to finish, you know.
You know, it sounds like everything was light and easy and went well and went quickly, but then you sort of came back and applied this painstaking layer of post-production where everything got tweaked 1,000 times over.
You know, that's part of the process, I guess. Yeah, we spent some time with it. Yeah.
You know, it's like the CD is basically just all you guys, except for a couple of guest appearances on the second track, the one that we've been playing the most on the radio.
Well, we were privileged to have our friend Sean Pelton, a longtime drummer of Saturday Night Live, and his girlfriend and partner, Elaine Caswell, a great singer, great backup singer. And when we had done the song initially, just the 4 of us, and you know, talked about maybe having a girl voice, you know, at some point on there, and we basically thought, well, it'd be cool to have Sean play too. So we sent him a copy of the tune. They really liked it, and you know, they were on board, and so it all ended up working out really well.
Was there any like template for the sound that you were going for on that one? Because boy, it sure sounded like,
you know, we didn't know what it was going to be like when we got it back. I mean,
Yeah.
But we tried to do it with a click track to make.
So we could
That's
sync
about
everything up,
As
you
far
know.
as I
Yeah.
like to go, as far as keeping the human element in there. If it's too programmed.
It just sounded like some of those early 70s rock records where they were starting to bring in the female
Yeah.
singers
Yeah.
and, it just,
Which Tom Petty record were we
They
listening to?
had the green light to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, we basically
We sent it to New
we
York.
sent our
Didn't know what it was going to be like.
yeah, we did our tracks and sent it to them and said, we kind of left the door open for them to,
I was hoping she'd sing a verse, I was like, get Elaine Caswell on your record. I mean, it was a big
But
deal.
what she did was just great, and they were so grateful. They were very saying, "Man, thanks for letting us be on it," and yeah, sure, anytime.
well, and it's sort of like, I pulled up both of their resumes and, the people that they've played with, it's just gaudy.
We were the only ones missing.
We're not on the list, I don't think.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that is so funny. But just an amazing track. So when you got that back and you heard it, I mean, you had to just be sort of gaga over the moon.
We liked it a lot, And when he first sent me the copy of what they did, and he was kind of like, well, if this isn't okay,
Yeah.
send it back, and we'll make any changes that you want.
I thought he just played drums, but listen to that percussion track.
He
There's
did a bunch of
shakers, there's
work
tambourines.
on
It was
it.
like-
Yeah, he did a lot of
totally
stuff.
did it up right.
He did.
Wow.
And he synced up with Paul and TJ. I mean, it was just like he was, it worked out great. It did.
We thought about re-recording the whole song again once we got those tracks back. Oh hell, we gotta be better than that.
The only thing that got thrown out was David's drum track. So,
Which I was.
like a man.
I was. Yeah. As long as they didn't completely get my vocal out of there, I was okay.
Yeah, so now they'd previously hung out with y'all in Key West.
Yeah, they'd been the last couple of summers. We spent some time down there together, and we have known Sean. Basically, he's again a Warrensburg guy.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And he went to school. I think he was a year behind Jimmy in high school, Warrensburg High, and so.
So
knew
you
him.
can be the drummer on Saturday Night Live and still try to impress the upperclassmen.
Yeah. So it was all kind of a connection that we had there, and we became closer in the past few years. We knew each other a long time though, and but we kind of grew closer and spent more time together in the past few years. And Becky and I've been up to New York to visit him a couple of times as well. So it's always a great trip.
If you're playing the 1 Degree of Separation, I mean, he's played with Bob Dylan, so you're one step removed.
Yeah. There you go.
And Elaine has a resume that's just amazing too. Recently, background vocals for Government Mule,
Yeah.
the Beacon Theater run, but that's just she was one of the, I forget the name, but Bette Midler's backup singers. She was one of them, and there's a name for those, and I'm sorry, I'm
And then
blanking.
I've seen her sing with Darlene Love. I saw her sing behind Shaka Khan, and
When
that's
they come to the club and set in, they throw down.
they bring the house down. They
don't
do.
sit there and go, I'll do one and leave.
No, they bring the house down
Wow.
pretty much.
You're like, well, it's a great how Sean takes over. And
Yeah.
plays
Oh,
those,
it's a lot of fun.
It's great.
Well, I'll tell you, we've just totally enjoyed, playing that track on the radio. But, the thing, whenever you spend as much time talking about one track, I don't want to take away from the rest of the album because the full album is just great, one track after the next.
Thank you.
And I couldn't be happier about the record. And we'd love to hear some more music if we
Yeah.
could.
Well, we'll with minus Sean and Elaine, we'll do Sweet Forgiveness and see if we can get through it and do our own live version of it. I want. Guess I knew we'd meet again someday. I was wondering what I might say. We found trouble, we lost our way. But I always like the music that you play. First I tried to blame the Lord above, It was always worth believing in. They said time can heal anything. It's done wonders for mistakes I've made. Though I've tried to resist it. Hallelujah, sweet forgiveness. You got to keep your wheels turning. I got to keep my home fires burning. It's been a long time coming, but it's good to hear that guitar strumming. They say time can heal anything. It's done wonders for mistakes I've made. Though I tried to resist it. Hallelujah, sweet forgiveness. They said time can heal anything. It's done wonders for mistakes I've made. Though I've tried to resist it. Hallelujah, sweet forgiveness. Sweet forgiveness. Here you go.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
You don't need those other ringers. Come on. Nace Brothers in our studios. The new album is Space and Time. The CD release party is coming up Sunday night, Valentine's night over at Knuckleheads. And I think everybody ought to bring Mary a rose on Sunday night. 'Cause
It's the least we could do.
you know, it's like every Valentine's Day, she's there at Knuckleheads behind the bar, helping out, and it's like Frank had promised her that he was going to take this Valentine's Day off, and then here come the Nace Brothers with the CD.
Oh boy,
release
are
party.
we are in trouble. I can feel
So,
it coming. So we
we-
better take her something. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we just need to shower Mary with roses come Sunday night.
Indeed.
She's very deserving. Ninth full length. This is just you getting a body of work out there, guys.
I know. You turn around, there's 9
Yeah.
CDs. Or
Well,
something behind
yeah,
you, and
it's,
you're like,
Yeah.
now what?
Been a pretty
I was
good
going to
run.
bring in, I actually have my vinyl copy of Smooth Rockin'. I was going to bring
You are
that
a
in.
brave man, my friend.
Yeah. And that sort of brings me back. We started off the interview talking about the family that you guys have created. But, there's also the family that you were born into. You're fourth generation.
Yeah. It's when Dad was playing and we'd see him getting ready to go to a gig and all that, and we were like, man, that's.
We thought it was cool.
We did. We wanted to be like that,
He would
And you
stand
knew
in
Dad
front
too, but when you were first starting in radio, I think Dad was still in radio.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff at that
absolutely.
time, yeah.
And, it's like I used to, I've been to Maxine's. I saw your dad play in Maxine's.
Yeah.
Now,
There
he
you
had,
go.
4, 5 nights a week in Maxine's?
And we're doing 4 nights a week there, most of the time.
And, he was playing there, and I think, Dave, you started playing with him first, and then Jimmy joined in.
Yeah, I started first, and then I left for a while and came back, and he was not really happy with where his band was at that time, and Jimmy was starting to play. And in fact, we've been kind of jamming together, down in Mom's basement, and kind of, so we both rejoined at that time, and we went for another 5 or 6 years together there.
Now, is there any truth to the rumor that when Jimmy started first hanging out, that they'd let you play the acoustic guitar, but they didn't plug you in.
That's a fact.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
We ain't plugged that in
I
yet.
was gonna say,
Damn it.
Well, it was a learning process.
yeah,
Actually, but when I started back when we played together, after that period, then he started playing bass, and when we were both in Dad's band, Jimmy was playing bass most of the time at that time.
So my understanding is that you sort of were zeroed in on getting your dad to teach you Johnny B. Good.
yeah. I probably made him play that 30,000 times. I thought it was the neatest, riff.
Yeah.
So you get that riff down, you
play that
join
one?
the
Can you
band.
still play that? I don't know if you...
I just retuned.
B flat, man.
The set just got longer.
Yeah.
So then you guys started playing with your dad, and your dad was really incredible. He had an amazing amount of success for being from the middle of the country. He had the kind of record sales that if he had those sales now, he'd be a household name nationwide.
Yeah, it was different, back then. And, single records, 45 records had significance at that time, and he sold a bunch.
And selling a song to another artist.
Yeah, he did that,
Nowadays,
too.
It's so tied
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
There's 10 names on it when it comes out. But Dad and a couple guys.
He had a couple of people record his songs.
MCA Records at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
and
Claude
he had
Gray
this
recorded a
Claude
couple of
Gray
his
guy was
songs.
on that label and did a couple of Dad's songs. And
Well, he ended up playing dates with Carl Perkins, Dottie West, Farron Young, Buck Owens,
Yeah.
Ernest Tubb.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much bigger than that.
no,
Yeah,
that was one of his favorites. He was on the Ernest Tubb Record Shop. Was
Couple
right
of
after
times,
the Opry.
a couple of times, yeah.
And, so you're playing with your dad, but in the back of your mind, rock and roll. And,
Yeah.
the Allman Brothers Live at Fillmore,
Yeah,
was that really,
Shook up
if
my
you wouldn't have
world.
had that album,
it might have been different, yeah.
it might have been different.
Yeah, it might have been
What was it about that record?
I think it was the slide guitar that I'd never heard anything like it. I went, oh, what is that?
I think it had an earthiness to it, but it was powerful. But you could kind of get the feeling from it. Just the emotion in it. I think for me,
After about a year at Maxine's with Dad, we found ourselves out on break time in the van with an 8-track of the Fillmore, just listening to it over and over, going, wow. And the next thing you know, you want to emulate it or try to.
Right.
And it just led us to, I guess, here.
And that's not to say that there was anything wrong with what your dad and
No.
his band was doing, because I think in a lot of ways, particularly what your dad did with Joe Green was sort of
amazing.
a template
Yeah.
for not only music but that sense of
they
family.
were great teachers
In a
for
lot
us.
of ways, we should have never.
Well, we learned a lot from them. That they were doing some really good music too, and just their whole approach to stage presence and the business itself, everything about it. We learned so much from those two.
The part of that whole story that I just love so much, though, is after you leave your dad's band, which couldn't have been easy, then you go out to make your first record, Smooth Rockin', and it's like the way that it worked out, everybody just sort of got it dovetailed so that your dad got studio time the day after you all were done,
Yep.
so you could stick around and work on his
Played
record.
on his record too. Yeah.
So there's your closure right
Yeah.
there.
It took a little rough period out of the gate where.
But he
I
was
know it
real
hurt his
involved
feelings.
with that whole process of the
He
first
was.
recording. He really actually kind of brokered the deal with the folks we worked with
Jack
down in
Eubanks,
Nashville,
man,
and
yeah.
there are folks that he knew and he'd worked with. So, he was totally on board with it.
This is your 35th year.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine that.
So can I throw out a couple of dumb stories?
Sure.
I want to
do.
hear about you having to take off your pants in Antigua.
Well,
A valuable lesson was learned that trip.
and everything was going so smoothly up to that point. We were booked to fly Kansas City, Dallas, Miami. Stayed the night in Miami. Flew Miami to Antigua, and everything was going great. We were psyched about going there. It was kind of a new adventure. So it kind of happened at first in Dallas. We get into the line to go on the plane, and then I look at my ticket, and it says TSA pre-check. So these guys are all over there in the line, the long line, and I'm going like, oh, man, hey, dude, check it out. I'll meet you. I'll meet you in the captain's lounge, you know.
The lounge for a martini.
So then get to Miami, same thing, you know. Man, I am like breezing through there, all good. Get to Antigua. Get off the plane, we're psyched, we're in line, got to go through customs, all that. We're standing there, the line's getting closer, we're just about to get there. And this large gentleman in a uniform comes up to me and specifically and says, you need to come with me. Okay.
And none of us saw this because he was behind us.
So I'm
we're out
thinking
waiting.
like,
Don't worry,
okay, I don't know what this is about, but you know, anything I've got here, sure, I can explain anything I have here. Yeah. So we get on back there. He goes, no, you need to come with me and bring your bag. So okay. So I'm thinking, well, they're just kind of pulled me out at random. They're gonna check my bag and all that. Takes me back into some room where no one else is, just he and I. And I'm going, oh, hey, man, you know, how's it going? I'm trying to make conversation. It was, you know. And he looks at me really serious and says, take off your pants. And I'm going like, well, come on, man. Dude, seriously.
I just met you.
Yeah. And he goes, no, you have to take off those pants. And I'm going, what? What's the big deal? You can't wear those pants. I know, okay, well, I've got some right here. I pull some out of my bag. I'll put them on. Then I find out on the way, once I get in, and he says, okay, you can go. Then I find out that it's against the law to wear camouflage in Antigua.
Camouflage pants, not good.
Camouflage anything. They look at it as a disrespect to their military, and if I ever go back there, those will not be with me.
You don't want a second
Well,
date.
the second time I did know better, and I did not, and I know I don't. You're right.
You know, the other story that sort of stuck out for me was you got to play with Bo Diddley.
We did.
Yeah, got to trade riffs with Bo Diddley.
We did.
Man.
You got to eat fried chicken with Bo Diddley.
Yeah,
We did.
Yeah.
You know, and
He
the
was
thing
the
about him
nicest,
too was he was just so easy to deal with, and
Except not at the
yeah.
beginning.
Well,
Sound check.
well, yeah.
I practiced all week on. You know,
And he just stopped.
it was right out of the gate. We had a little sound check before the gig, and I got it. You know, he stops the whole band and looks at me and goes, "Don't play that."
I
I'll
play
play
that.
that.
I play that. Yeah.
I mean, just
So don't
scolded
play what I
me. You know,
don't play what I've played,
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. You know, I mean,
which is great.
lesson
Sorry,
learned.
Mr. Diddley, sir.
But we got to play with him again.
We
so
did.
We did a couple gigs with him.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, I have to tell you, it's like 35 years of entertaining and creating love and a sense of family within the audience. You guys, I hope you're really proud, because you should be.
Well, we like what we do, and these guys make it easy.
Yeah.
To
Well-
take the stage every night. You know.
Most nights. There was that one time when I thought about it. Blew that out there.
No, it's so lucky to have him. It's a pleasure to have him. You know.
Dave losing his pants, that's enough embarrassment for one day.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. I had clean underwear.
Yeah. So the band, of course, Dave, Jimmy, Paul, TJ, the Nace Brothers, new CD, Space and Time. You can find out more at nacebros.com. And, of course, it's at Sunday night at Knuckleheads for the big CD release party for Space and Time. We'd love to hear one more song if we could.
Well, we will attempt the title track here. Just a little space and time where I clear my mind. A place to go when I'm feeling low. Everything is always alright in the back of my mind. Just a little space and time. Shaking them down to the break of dawn. Getting by on nothing at all. I didn't get far chasing that dream from the heart. I wouldn't change a thing. Just a little space and time where I clear my mind. A place to go when I'm feeling low. Everything is always alright in the back of my mind. Just a little space and time. Crashing the banks down on Clear Fork, soaking wet, standing on your porch. I said goodbye to those crazy friends. I wasn't sure you were gonna let me in. Just a little space and time where I clear my mind. A place to go when I'm feeling low. Everything is always alright in the back of my mind. Just a little space and time. Up all night, searching your soul, finding out that time is worth more than gold. It's good to see you're still around. I'm sorry if I ever let you down. Just a little space and time where I clear my mind. A place to go when I'm feeling low. Everything is always alright in the back of my mind. Just a little space and time.
Nace Brothers in our studios. And of course, that's the title track of the new one, Space in Time. You can pick up your copy at the merch table Sunday night at Knuckleheads. Again, Valentine's night. 2 reasons to go down. Actually, 3 reasons, because as a community, we really need to take care of Mary. and when we take care of Mary, we're taking care of Frank, you know, because he's probably in just a world of hurt over this one. So
He's probably blaming it on us.
yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely. Look, when it comes to marriage, you throw anybody under the bus, right? I mean, come on. You got to keep everybody happy. Got to keep everybody happy. Well, it's just been, having been a fan for 35 years, it was just a pleasure to have you guys in the studio
Good talking with
today.
you, John. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in. TJ, Paul, and of course, Dave and Jimmy, the Nace Brothers here on the bridge.
Thanks.